You want some water or anything?
I got my own water.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so I don't know if we're going to do another version of Zodiac Killer. It's probably true, but, you know, they don't have the DNA to prove it, so people steal all the time. Anyway, this is like a call sheet. So the important thing about the call sheet, though, the most important thing is that right there. So you don't go to the wrong thing. And probably is that. That's all an actor needs to know. They need to know 3 things, okay? A time, a location. I know it's 3 things. You know, time, they gotta have a time, a location, and the date. So where's the date? Right here. Give me the date. The location is right here, stage 11. The time is right here. That's all they need to know. You don't need to know anything else. Well, you could get by without the lines, but the lines help. Yeah. There is one aspect about the iPhone that does bother me. And you know when you go through on YouTube, which is Google, see, Apple needs to work and share with other people and family. So Apple will share with Google, unless Google wants to buy Apple, okay? So whenever you're in Facebook and you're putting in your information, it'll only remember what it wants to remember. So if I put the Linda and Cole Spivey band, it remembers the whole line, remember? And I put the Please Subscribe show with Linda and Cole Spivey, it remembers. Remember what you need to remember, because we don't want to forget.
Sun blaring down. So I'm going to try to get over here in this far corner on the farthest, let's just say, the worst seats to watch a game in great detail at Angel Stadium. That's kind of the context I'm going for. And this store down here has, for $100, you can get a game-used and team-issued jersey. You got an extra $100, you can get a game-used jersey. That's pretty neat, right? And inside the new Aero store, kind of like this t-shirt right here, with the steak, the steak with the halo, with the very chippy top. We also have hats, I've seen hats like that as well. Oh, just a camouflage. I've wear a camouflage shirt. I think that might be a little too much on the too much camouflage. And across the way here is the Big A Burger. So you can go with the traditional hot dog. You can also get a hamburger, and not just any hamburger. You can get the Big A Burger. The Big Angel's Burger. Check that out. I didn't even know this was down here.
So I was watching Adam the Woo. I'm doing the dishes. I'm about to work on my werewolf screenplay. This is a note card. David Lynch feels that you need 70 of these ideas to make yourself a movie. So this note card is dialogue. Dialogue is an idea. PSS. Rick, can you return all loose carts to the cart corral? Rick answers, yes, sir. The Lowe's manager responds with,
Did you need some help? You called for a manager. Grace, chewing on some bubble gum, says, I'm buying a new lawn mower. A screenplay takes a lot of time. That same scene, scriptum. Remember that Grace walks into Lowe's. Rick says, can I help you? Rick is just a measly little Lowe's employee that follows all the commands of his authority. Just like Bradley follows every word I say. I want to be in the Atlantic. Now, when Rick approaches him, he says, you are so young. And Grace says, yes. Looking for an Ego Power 22 HP brushless motor, direct drive, 42 and 0 turn lawnmower with mulching capability. Now, over in the distance, the manager hears what Grace Lippin says and decides to butt in to the conversation, because that type of lawnmower is worth about $5,000, also known as $5,000. Now, Rick continues with saying the words, right this way. Grace responds, how many batteries does it have? Rick says, I think 4 or 6. Let's check. 4 are included. That is when the manager comes in. Do you see? There's a difference between the way you would do it and the way I would do it. The manager comes in and he says to him, Rick, can you return all the loose carts to the cart corral? Looks kind of like Adam the Woo. Big guy, likes to eat hot dogs. Runs Lowe's manager. Basically, just Lowe's. He runs Lowe's management. He's the manager. He's the big guy at that Lowe's department store. He's the manager. You know, layman terms. Remember that Rick does say yes, sir. So Rick is under him. Remember that Lowe's manager asked Grace, the UFC fighter who has a werewolf as a wife, did you need some help? You called for a manager. And Grace says, I'm buying a new lawnmower. Okay. Then we get into another angle. And maybe Rick fights for it and says, can I help you? And Grace says, yeah, I'm looking for the Ego Power 22 HP brushless motor direct drive 42 and 0 turn lawnmower with mulching capability. Rick says right this way because he wants to sell right in front of the manager. Very rude. Grace says, how many batteries does it have? Rick says, oh, I don't think for all 4 or 6. Let's check. Four excluded is what Rick says. The manager takes over the situation and says this to get him off his back. Rick, can you return all loose carts to the cart corral? And Rick says, yes, sir. At that moment, Rick lost the battle. Lowe's manager overpowers and says, did you need some help? You called for a manager. Which he didn't really. But the manager wants the sell. Grace says, I'm buying a new lawnmower. You get it? They're competing at Lowe's to help Grace Lippin. All right? I want about 12 million. Now, there is a scene later on to throw in there where Grace Lippin, Mr. Cooper goes over, Grace Lippin goes over to his place, and they come in to bother him on his property because they say, we are YouTube, or we're online web series professionals. Okay, that's what they say. They don't say YouTube. They say online web series professionals. And we want to speak with Grace Lippin. Grace Lippin opens the door because Rainey's already slammed the door on them. We know that because it's in the script and the vlog that they first came by the property. Rainey didn't want to talk to him. That's Grace Lippin's wife, Rainey Love. She's the ex-rock star. She didn't want to talk to him, so she slammed the door on him. He heard about it. Grace didn't want them around. Grace is a big guy. He's got billions of dollars, lots of muscles, billions of dollars on Wall Street. And little do you know, in the sequel, he loses it all and moves into a trailer all by himself with a little dog. And the little Russian lady runs home. Now, yes, that's true. Rainey Love has some connections to Russia. She's tried to be a rock star. So what does Grace Lippin say to Gerald Oldman III and to Mr. John Blacksmith? Got a message. No, I'm not taking that million. I want at least 20 million. Now, Grace Lippin tells John Blacksmith and Gerald Oldman III, Gary Oldman, he tells him, Grace says, I'll cut your head off with a reciprocating saw if y'all come back here. Okay, guys? Grace looks at them. They turn around and walk off. It's not the end of it, though, because later they have to pull him out into the full moon to see if Grace Lippin turns into a werewolf, which he doesn't. And that's when he finally explains to them his tattoo and where he got it. The idea was from Rainey Love, his wife, who is the werewolf. There will be vampire stuff in the sequels and stuff like that. We're talking about werewolves. Grace eventually will drive the pet cat who was bit by a snake. They'll drive this pet bat, and don't be putting spiders in my garage anymore. By the way, that's attempted murder. And Grace will drive Garlene to the vet, then to Lowe's. John and Gerald have taken an Uber to Lowe's. Now, first, they have to follow him, and they know he's going to the vet because he has to take the cat to the vet because the cat got bit by a snake and almost died. It almost lost its leg, but they were able to save it. That'll be in the sequel later. The cat's name is Garlene. Now, Lewis is a day worker. He's a Hispanic. Well, he's a day worker. He's special. He's the guy who comes over and mows Grace Lipin's lawn. That's the reason why he's at Lowe's. He's buying him a whole new lawnmower because he wants to take care of him because he's this guy from Mexico that's illegally here and he's mowing his lawn. So he goes to Lowe's to buy a whole new riding lawnmower. We'll get to Lewis later because Lewis wants thousands of dollars and all this other stuff because he can also set Grace up for hiring him. Can't hire day workers. It's illegal. If you're a day worker, you can sue your employee by going to the American government, and Biden will help you sue the employee. If you're very rich and you're hiring day workers, you're going to prison. It's a legal crime. Now, I'm going to take a bite. I want $20 million. $20 million. I'm a writer. I deserve every penny of it. It's working out. I want to get real strong so I can show them who the best actor is, buddy. Oh, De Niro, you're getting old, buddy. I'm getting old. Eee! Harvey Keitel. Come on, you want some? All right. Mark Wahlberg, you're going to play the mentally challenged FBI agent later on in the heist film. I'm not chasing bears. I'm chasing fairies. And fairies, they can't do anything. Because fairies don't exist. Come on.